I did not bring enough snacks for this.
Cam Proctor with Big Old Bell Media. Today we have JJ Johnson, creator, and Matthew J.R. Bishop, who was the visual effects EP for season 3 of Jane, premiering Friday, April 18th, only on Apple TV Plus. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Great. Thanks for
Great.
having
How are
us.
you?
Yeah, glad to be here. So I'm a little late to the Jane series, but I just jumped on the bandwagon. I have an 8-year-old and then I also have a 2-year-old.
Nice.
So you might know of a show called Dino Dana that they
Yeah.
actually watched. So I was like, I was like, wow, I'm watching the show. I'm like, man, this looks a lot like Dino Dana, right?
Yeah.
With animals. And then I'm like, oh wait, it's the same guys that did Dino Dana. That's so crazy. So I'm definitely going to introduce season 1 through 3 to them, but
Oh, thank
absolutely a
you.
fantastic job you guys did on this season. I just want to say that first and foremost.
Oh, thank you so much. Really
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course, of course. So we know with anything like this and talking about animal preservation and zoology, there's always a harsh reality, and we get to kind of see that in this season as we go a little along. No spoilers, but what did it mean to you, or why was it so important for you to showcase that the good and bad of the world when talking about animals? I can start with you, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of our superpowers as a company is that we get to work with kids all the time. And if you work with kids and you listen to them, they will be very honest with you about what their concerns are, what they're thinking about, what they're worried about. And in the last couple of years, that has started to tilt more and more to the environment. And
Right.
so whenever we hear that, we just want to respond to it. And the best way that we can respond is through our content. And so
Mhm.
we wanted to put out a series that had a lead character that was feeling exactly the way they are, that, wanting to make a difference, but feeling a little bit hopeless and confined in their neighborhood. And so, she goes on imaginary adventures, but inevitably those adventures kind of start to bleed into the real world and start to cause real world changes in her community. And so a lot of this was to make sure that we reaffirm to kids that they do have a voice, they do have a ton of power, and if they can start to influence what they're doing and also what's going on in their with their community members, they can actually affect change that when it reverberates out can, honestly change the world.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, one of the things I've been incredibly proud of with this show in particular is like really strong role models, both from the kid side, but also from the adult side. Because at the end of each episode, you actually get to see someone kind of executing that Jane's dream
Right.
and bringing that to life. And I think sometimes it's tough as a child because everything can seem overwhelming. And JJ is 100% right. It's like the knowledge that kids pick up is so massive, and this show does not talk down to kids. And in fact, I think it showcases the reality, but also positive steps and impacts that you can have. And I think what's exciting about that is like, in having a network partner like Apple TV Plus that didn't ask us to dumb things down and didn't ask us to to hide the truth. It's like it's very authentic, and I think there's very few shows that showcase that, and that's what I'm thrilled that, we show you the reality, but we also show you that you can make a difference. Jane made a difference, and so can you.
Yeah. No. Beautifully said, honestly. And I think that is one of the highlights of the show is that, it kind of comes full circle. It shows you what you can do to improve the world as well as the things that are happening outside that are kind of hard for you to control in your own reality as well. But no, I really enjoyed watching this for sure though. So we know from the trailer that we do see Dr. Jane Goodall, and that at some point she does premiere on this show. Um, did you guys get to meet her, or like did you get to interact with her? I start with you, JJ.
Yeah. I mean, both Dr. Goodall and her organization, the Jane Goodall Institute, have been involved in the series right from the beginning. So, we had to pitch her this concept. She had to sign off. She had
Yeah.
comments, which were great, and we used. And then throughout the show, both her and the organization have been reviewing scripts and materials. So that has been a long 5-year journey of getting to know her, which has been an amazing highlight of my life.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
it built to this finale episode. I mean, she really inspired me to create this show. When we started to have our kids, I remember the moment being in the delivery room and you're seeing this little innocent face and
Yeah.
feeling all these possibilities. And then immediately I was like, oh my gosh, what is the planet that they're inheriting? What are we doing? Like, and
Right.
I think I
Yeah.
became like an adult in that moment, which is probably long overdue. But I went right back to when I was a kid and I was worried about the environment in the 80s and, what was going on. And that's when I stumbled upon Dr. Goodall. And it just made me feel so much more safer and hopeful that there were people like her out there doing that work. And so we've tried to do that, both with her appearing in this season, like Matt was saying in the documentary pieces, we see real people out in the field trying to save these animals. So it just felt like a full circle moment to be able to feature her in a very special episode that is about chimpanzees and watch her interact with, our Jane.
Yeah.
I mean, career highlight.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt, how was the experience for you if you got to interact with her? Or what did she say about I mean, the visual effects? She had to be seeing those and be like, whoa, like, is that a real chimp in there? Like, that's crazy.
It's funny you mentioned that because when we first started working together, we were incredibly nervous
Hmm.
because, um, like Jane's the goat. She's the best. And so when we were sh showing her some of the images, one of the notes came back and it was like, "This is a nice photograph." And when I told that to the team, they're like, "Guys, Jane thinks this is a photograph. This is great." So, but what was awesome about that collaboration with JGI, like Jane's organization, is to have that massive expertise that we can draw upon for both unique animals I didn't even know that existed, but also just that kind of correspondence that we could have back and forth that really tried to bring something unique to the screen. So working with someone of that caliber who has been at the top of her game for so long and will live on for generations after she's gone. I think to us it's such a amazing opportunity, responsibility, and things that I'll be thinking about for decades to come from now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, no. I absolutely love the series, and I think a lot of people are actually going to really, really enjoy it. Everybody at home, make sure you check out season 3 of Jane, premiering Friday, April 18th, only on Apple TV Plus. Matt and JJ, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Cameron.